Some quick off-the-cuff thoughts on the 16 to 35 f4 power zoom lens. Got this in yesterday, played with it throughout the day, shot a bunch of footage, played with the 16mm range, 24 and 35, also used clear image zoom to make it into effectively a 50mm, and also shot with it at night. Overall, I like it, but I don't see it fitting with like my needs and I don't really see myself using it. So the things I liked about it was the 16mm is incredibly handy when you need to just, as like a safety of like capturing everything or just like pointing at yourself to record a conversation between you and someone else. Very, very handy. It was very handy inside the car for that, where you just, yeah, it's just boom. 16mm, point yourself, and it'll capture everything. So it felt like a GoPro in that regard. Just very, very relaxing knowing that you will like catch the moment. At the same time, for composed shots, like saying that we went to a restaurant, sitting down, it was very nice being able to just set the camera aside and then like zoom in exactly to the frame that you wanted. So overall, I like it. Downsides of it though was at nighttime f4 the aperture is way too it's way too slow. So inside the car it's when I was shooting it, the ISO had to be bumped up to like 256,000, right? So and f2.8 or faster would have been preferred. Also the image quality, it's tack sharp edge to edge, but the iPhone still beats it. Right? So I would rather shoot with my iPhone than dealing with this setup. What else? Other things I liked about it or didn't like about it, the power zoom feature was completely useless. I don't see it being something that I use. What else? I'm trying to think anything else. Brandon Lee, he has this interesting workflow where he uses zooms throughout the day, but at nighttime he checks back to his hotel and he swaps everything out for primes. And I could totally see that being the optimal workflow to get the best of both worlds if you're making travel Vimeo like award-winning like reels like he does. But for my case, where I don't know, my quality needs are a step below that. I care most about, okay, so one thing straight, I do like cinematic quality, but that's like almost like a second thought. The thing I like most about shooting on DSLRs, etc., is flexibility in post, right? And ideally, that's to eliminate friction. And if I mess anything up, like in the moment of shooting, I want the flexibility to fix it in post. So like historically, phones didn't have enough dynamic range, and if you underexpose, you could bring it up in post. Another reason why I like shooting in 4K, it gives you so much flexibility in just like cropping in, right, and still getting crisp 1080p, and also chroma subsampling. So those are my priorities. Are more towards that, and if it looks cinematic, hey, that's extra. So the iPhone is, I would say for daytime shooting, the iPhone covers my use cases. And I don't really see a nighttime use for this. It's way too slow. I could see a use case if you're a gimbal shooter, but Sony's active stabilization is outstanding, and especially at wide focal lengths, you don't need a gimbal, right? You need a gimbal starting at 50mm, which is like this chunky monster. Oh, this is very, very light, by the way. It's lighter than my 85, I believe. Compact. I would keep it if it was $200 or so, but it's like a $1,400 lens. It doesn't make sense. I don't want the mental burden of being like, hey, where's this chunk of cash? Where's it located? Huh. That's why I like having 2 or 3 lenses to keep track of. One of the most uncomfortable feelings in the world is having 10 lenses in your bag, you're at a shoot, and then you're like, okay, where's all of my lenses? Do I have everything, right? I want to minimize the number of things to keep track of. That's why I like having just one camera, simplify to 1 or 2 primes, 1 or 2 batteries, and yeah, the ultimate simplification is, of course, shooting an iPhone. Just have your phone, you forgo with all this. So those are my quick thoughts. Another random comment is things like this, I would normally like type it up into like a 10-paragraph essay and send it to my friends. I'm trying to embrace this approach of just uploading it. I already see the benefits of it. The fact that if someone asks me a question, hey, what'd you think about this lens? They randomly ask me like 10 years down the line, be like, oh, actually, in the moment, right before I returned it, boom, made a video. And I could just like send them that link. Or I could just review it myself because I'm going to forget all these little insights. At some point, I'll probably buy this again. Because the 50, this is my 3rd time that I bought this lens. This exact lens. I hate it every single time because I'm not a fan of 50 millimeters. But I bought it again because Arthur, you freaking bastard. I hate 50 millimeters. And if you look at other content creators, Gerald and Dunn, DSLR shooter, and a couple other like big DSLR shooters, they say the same in a nice way. They're not a fan of 50 millimeters, the focal length, but this is the best 50 millimeters ever made, 1.2. Sony nailed it. Now we're getting to RAM side tangents, so I'll end it here. That's all.